pizza and Calcio, two of the things we love the most here on the Calcio guys. Adriano and Gianni, I'm Nicholas. Joined by good friends from Rochester, Billy and Mo. It's been almost 4 years since we've had you guys on. At the time, last time we had you on, you were known as just Pizza Calcio. Now we have a new identity, Forno Tony. We'll talk about that soon. But guys, how's everyone doing?
Let's go, boys. How we doing?
Doing good.
Pretty good.
Too long haven't had you guys on, man. It's been. We said it off air, like we were saying earlier. It's crazy how long it's been. Already 4 years, but happy to have you guys back. And it's been way too long, and hopefully it's not going to be too long for the next time.
I know you guys are aging like fine wine.
What are you talking about? John with a nice like beard and glasses and everything. Look at that. He's going full dad mode over here.
Love it.
Mo just gets like hotter and hotter on the hotness scale. Like, how can I compete here? How?
This guy's like GQ. This guy's like GQ over here.
He's just trying to
Every
look
photo
like
of the model.
Yeah. Calafiore vibes are real, bro.
Trying to bring the aura to the podcast.
That's it.
Yeah, we're not gonna get it from Nick, right? Because that's
No, sorry.
Mo it is.
Calcio guys, you could follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Listen to us on all your favorite podcasting platforms. But before we get into the Calcio stuff, guys, since the last time we've had you on, you opened a bakery in Rochester. So you really combined your love for Calcio with pizza. And I mean, just tell us about that.
Yeah, I think it's we're really just trying to bring the authentic taste of Italy back to Rochester, focusing on Roman style pizza. The heart of Roman style pastries, as well as some of our family recipes and whatnot. Breads, we also started making our own gelato in-house. So honestly, it's a little piece of everything at this point. We also love throwing in like little pieces of culture or, little things that we love. Right, you want to add anything else?
Yeah, I mean, Calcio being one of those things, right? Like when you go into our bakery, the walls are just littered with scarves, jerseys, everything, for any major game. We got the games on, doing watch parties with a bunch of people. So, it's incredible. It's been incredible to see how many Calcio fans there are in Rochester. And I think it's just a small sample of like what the reality is of the United States and also Canada, that there are a lot of Serie A fans, and it's just great to see that kind of coming back out with the league, in a better place than it's been for last 15 years or so. So,
and just remind us, guys, it's been how long that you guys are open now?
Since January 2024, and it's been growing like crazy. We've been really excited, and I think just honored that the community's kind of gotten together behind the ingredients, because we really are using the best possible ingredients we can get, and oftentimes that means we're not making as much money as we'd like to, or that we'd be the most comfortable doing. But I think really the focus for us is just, how do we take that feeling of when you're in Rome, when you stop in, you get a piece of pizza in Campo di Fiori, anywhere really in Italy, also just trying to replicate that feeling. And I think we're doing a really good job. Just trying to keep it as authentic as we possibly can.
Now, I'm saying this in a congratulatory way. Like, you guys have been saying it's been expanding, it's been getting big and stuff. And it's been about, a year and a half almost now that it's been open. Was this something you guys originally envisioned to like get to this point by like we're expected to be like X size by Y time? Or has this growth been like so like surprising in a good way that, it feels like a little bit overwhelming at times? Or do you feel like, no, we got this, we can handle it? How's it going for you guys?
I'll let Billy take that one, because he feels probably the most overwhelmed of the both.
I think it's been surprising, obviously in a good way. We knew we had the product, and we knew we had the passion. But I think the way we've been to really display it and show it, I think has been the cool thing. Has been the fun part, and the way it's stuck really in the community. And really kind of getting people to, how do I say it, almost like see their family's history and what they're doing. Like half the time people come in, they tell us about where their family's from, or they're right from Italy, or they just went to Italy, and this reminds them of that. So it's kind of stuff like that that has really been the most surprising, and kind of what has what has really stuck so far, and I think it shows in our authenticity and kind of the fact that people do like that, and it's all our family working and it's all our friends hanging out. So I think that's been really the most surprising part is kind of how that stuff is stuck with certain things of people's past. The overwhelming part, yeah, that's the whole different side, and running the business and being the head baker, the head pizzaiolo, the head of HR, the head of
the guy who goes
of
buys the
everything.
ingredients, the guy who has to do the stock check afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. I say the easy part is making the pizza. The hard part is dealing with the employees. especially the employees that aren't family are the easy one. It's the families that are
It's always the case. It's always the case.
But
It's
no,
like you can't tell off your family sometimes. You'll be like, oh, I don't know.
I know.
Or
I like
something.
The one guy's great is my aunt, who's driving me nuts half the time.
But I think that's just even the beauty of it, right? Like
Yeah.
waking up every day, getting to the bakery, and you're with family, you're with friends. It's a product that you're proud of, and I think it's the power of social media is what brought us to you guys, right? And we've been very supportive of each other throughout this time that we've kind of connected online. I'm guessing that you've gotten a lot of positivity on your social media. Like I see you guys always posting and stuff like that. What's kind of been maybe your guys like maybe best moments since opening the doors, and just what are you so far most proud of?
Ryan, you want to go?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Best moments. I don't know. It's hard to say. There's not like one moment, so to speak. Like, we had the Buffalo Bills all come in. That was really cool.
That's dope.
Like Josh Allen, he won the MVP like that season. So,
That's
we like to think that Forno Tony powers.
you had to play a piece to play in that, definitely.
But yeah, hey, there we go. Here's some Buffalo Bills.
Dalton Kincaid? I know.
Is it Milano? Is Milano there? Where is he?
No, he's been in, but he's not there. That's
I'll tell you what,
Kincaid
Milano eats a lot, man. That guy, I've never seen a guy eat so much gelato as that guy. He's a true Italian.
Not Milano.
Yeah, I think some of the moments is like we've gotten messages from people. One specifically comes to mind. There was a crostata di ricotta that we do, and a girl had it, and she said it like instantly almost had her tear up because it reminded like of her how her Nona used to make it. So It's like, I don't know, it's like little stuff like that kind of like, I don't want to say keeps you going, but kind of keeps it fun and keeps the passion strong, that you're kind of like affecting people like that. So it's, I don't know, we've kind of stacked together a lot of little moments like that have been kind of
or like, another example of that was I had a guy come into the bakery one day, and I guess he lives in New York. I don't know why he's in Rochester, but a couple weeks later, I don't even know how this guy, how Italians are. I don't even know how he got my phone number. So I get a call from this guy, his voice is all muffled. He's like, "Ciao, Mo, sono stato da Forno l'altro giorno." And then, he's like, "Oh, he told me, it's like, did you get my package?" I'm like, "What package?" He's like, "Oh, I sent you a package." I never got it. Like a month later, I opened this package. It's like this huge Napoli flag, this huge Milan flag.
Oh
he
God.
Donated it to us from his family, like wrote on it with a Sharpie. There's just sick. There's so many things like that. Like people, and people have been dropping off scarves. Like we probably get a scarf of, some Italian team every month or so.
That's awesome.
So now we're like, we're kind of thinking about the space. We got to make some changes, but we're going to need to take everything down. So we need to make more space. And we saw in the photo, like our walls are like completely covered with all this stuff.
Yeah.
I say another pretty cool thing is we also were able to put our logo and sponsor our hometown team in Basilicata in Italy.
That's awesome.
In
Wow.
Melfi, yes, we were able to like throw our logo on it. It's just like it's just funny.
That's a dream. That's like a dream come true.
Yeah, so it's stuff like it's just little stuff like that. It's just like, yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's awesome.
So
that's awesome.
I think what's like the big beauty of it is that some communities are bigger than others, so they still have easier access to the routes. of our ethnicities and stuff, and just to have, I guess, that in Rochester is still very nice. I'm not saying it's a small community in Rochester, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not a place that when everyone thinks like Italian communities in New York, the first thing they think of is obviously New York City. But it's and with the roots obviously come the interest and stuff. So you guys said you guys host watch parties for the different Serie A games. Which team or teams, I guess, usually attracts the most customers to the store whenever those games happen? Or like, what's like the most popular, I guess, fan club there in your neck of the woods?
Milan. It's got to be Milan. We're most closely associated with the Roma club here in Rochester. Like, we're super active in it. We have group chats with them. We're always talking with them.
Nice.
But like, we did a watch party for which Milan game was it last year, Billy? Where we had
It was Roma and Milan.
It was Roma and Milan, okay, and we had probably 20 Milanisti come out.
Wow, nice.
Off like a story, you know what I mean? There wasn't anything like
official
given away or official. No, it was just like, we're gonna do a watch party for Roma Milan, and place was packed.
I would say even probably more than Juve. I think Milan's probably bigger in town.
Which
that's not a problem. I think we accept that.
Yeah. I like to hear that. I saw our boy Franco from Milan Club New York come out and try your stuff, and
he's a great guy.
From what I heard over there, he really enjoyed it. So
he picked the wrong team, but he's a great guy.
No, well, I don't know about that, but the product is there.
I feel like it's perfect transition. We could actually talk about Calcio now, but actually, we do have one question. Well, it's from yourself, Mo, but it's a perfect question. Best pizza spot in Rome. I feel like even if you didn't ask this, we would have still asked you this.
Up.
Before we get to Calcio, before we talk about the game in Rome this past weekend, you gotta give us your favorite pizza spot in Rome.
For me, I kind of model a lot of what we do after Forno Fiori, and just kind of their like style of true, like authentic, like bakery, like just like it's my personal favorite pizza. They're not doing too much. There's not too many toppings. Like the pizza rosa is king and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I model a lot after. I know my brother, when he was in jewelry school in Rome, he spent time at a lot of different places. So he probably has a different answer than me. But that's it for me.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. It's, Campo Fiori is one of the best. I would go, there's a spot in Monti. So this is something you might have to like search out if you're going to Rome. You might not walk right by it, but Monti, great zone. You have a lot of like secondhand thrift shopping, which is really nice. Near a lot of great stuff, a lot of really cool restaurants, bars, but there's a pizzeria called Pizzeria Boccaccia. And man, this place is like, it's a small hidden gem. Like, you go in there, nothing but pizza, super small. Like, everyone's kind of like squeezing by each other. But they just do like classic pizza romana. They got, anywhere from 6 to 8 pans out at any time. And
nice.
I don't know, man. It's crispy. It's everything you want in a pizza romana. So I definitely highly recommend checking them out.
So guys, write it down. We're gonna have to keep that on the bucket list of places to go, I guess.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I know Rochester is really well known. For we were saying a bit off air there. I know me and Nick went to Bonci back in 2019. I know that's very popular on social media.
Those are great. Yeah.
It was another top place for us. I was there back in October. It was just another like restaurant pizzeria. It was called L'Archetto. It was really good. It was closer to the Vatican side. I think it's Prati. Is it there? I think in that area.
Yeah.
Which again, very local spot. It was all locals in there. So I guess when you're in Italy and you see all the locals in some spot, it's top, right? So yeah, man. But there's so many. Like, I feel like there's just so many places that you can just walk into, hidden gem you won't even know, and you'll hit the jackpot on some good food.
Yeah.
See, I can't even talk because last time I was in Rome was about almost 2 years, actually 2 years ago, and I didn't get a chance to try pizzeria because I was there just for the game, and I went back to Florence to go back to my cousin's place. But I'm just saying, if you go to
That's a
Naples,
sin. That is
if
a
you ever go
sin.
to, if you ever go to Napoli, or if you go to the nearby towns, I'll give you the pizza choice. I'll give you the pizzeria option.
Johnny,
I didn't think Napoli had pizza.
I'm gonna
Yo,
spend
Johnny,
a few
buck
weeks.
ears.
I'm gonna spend a few weeks in Aversa. Do you know Aversa?
That's
It's in Campania region.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
closer to Caserta, no? Hold on.
yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna be spending a couple weeks there. My girlfriend's from there, so
Oh, nice.
yeah. Let me, if you got any, we're gonna spend a bunch of time in the city too. So if you send them my way.
Will do. Actually, no, you're closer. No, never mind. It's between Caserta and Napoli. It's right in the middle. Holy crap. Okay, wow, that's a good location.
Yeah.
Wait, when are you guys going?
We are going in so my cousin's getting married in Melfi beginning of June, like June 10th, I think, June 13th, maybe.
It's in June.
And then we're going we're going end of June. We're going to be there till like mid-July.
Awesome.
No, because funny enough, because I have some Italian friends that moved from Italy to here because of obviously the economy and stuff, and trying to build a life for themselves. And a couple, the husband's Napolitan, the wife is Calabrese. They're getting married in Napoli this summer, and I'm going to be there too. Problem is, they're getting married during August, during Ferragosto, so I'm not going to be. I was just checking to see if we were going to cross paths. It would have been nice, but
you're going to need to bring 2 suits.
Yeah, I was going to say, bring 2 suits, extra mudande. It's going to be wet, bro.
Yeah, I was in Italy for.
Just get a light shirt while you can.
Yeah. I was in Italy for two weddings last summer, and the second one was on it was an afternoon wedding, and that was hot.
It's hot.
That was hot.
Thankfully, my cousin got married this past April, so it wasn't too bad for me. But it gets hot. So
August is crazy.
Yeah,
that's a crazy one.
That's wild.
Yeah. Guys, before we talk Calcio, I just want to say it's honestly awesome talking about just food, Italian food. It's part of our culture, right? And it's good. It's cool that you guys brought this over to North America. Here in Montreal, we have some good, good restaurants as well. And obviously, Montreal's a bigger city than Rochester, and there's probably more Italian immigrants in Montreal too. But it's good to see that in a town like Rochester. I don't know how many people live in Rochester. What's the population?
It's like 400,000, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Good size, but considering you guys try to be authentic as possible, and anybody could make a pizza and claim it's the best pizza in the world, but in reality, it's nothing beats a true authentic Italian pizza. So it first of all, congrats to you guys for what you're doing, and also I really love talking about it, and I'm starving now too. But what is it, 9:23 on a what are we, Wednesday night, and I'm starving.
Likewise, you guys are,
I could definitely go for some pizza.
Just to kind of give it back to you guys, we love what you guys are doing, obviously have since the early days. So appreciate you guys having us on, and excited to chat some Calcio.
Of course. Thank you. We appreciate that. But perfect timing, and it worked out because we had Roma Milan. Normally we talk Adriano and Gianni for this type of game, but it works out. You guys are brothers. Billy, you're the Roma fan. Mo, you're the Milan fan, even though you're wearing the Roma sweater.
Even though I got the Roma sweater on.
You
lost the bet.
Makes sense.
So first of all, did you guys watch the game together?
No.
This one,
I don't know if Adria, I don't know if you feel the same way. Milan has this. It's tough to watch Milan right now, and I didn't even watch
You're telling me, bro. You're telling me.
I felt bad. I didn't know.
I was at, I was
the
here.
fans are sad. Everything's sad.
I had about 4 screens going on Sunday.
Nice.
I was trying to get as many of the games as I could. I was watching Juve, I was watching Napoli, Inter, and Milan. Had Milan on my phone, but it was just a depressing game. I mean, from that red card, you just knew what it was going to be. I don't know how they got that. I don't know how João Felix pulled one back, but I mean, just an awful game. But hats off to Roma. I mean, not to say that they're not, one of the hottest teams in Europe, right, since January. But yeah, just really, really bad game. Kind of what you expect from Milan at this point.
I think also before cutting you off, Billy, there, it was just an important game, like for Europe, just in general. Like obviously more for Roma than it was for Milan. We said it like even last week. There was a lot riding on this game, like especially for Roma, right? Like the 3 points meant a lot more than I think just a regular 3 points during the middle of the year. Bill, you agree with that, and just like how big and important was these 3 points in your opinion?
Yeah, I think it was because there's a multitude of factors. You got Ranieri's last game at home, right? And the guy is just he's turning. He already was, right below a god, and I think he's a god in Rome. I mean, it's unbelievable.
By the way, that tifo that they did was beautiful.
I was blown away.
Yeah, that angle of him like watching it, and then they all flip the cards up.
And
tear-jerking stuff right there.
I feel like the other thing for me is, and Johnny, I don't know if you feel the same way. It's almost like we're watching the turn of Gianluca Mancini into the guy who would get the red cards. Now he's kind of turned into the player who draws the red cards.
So I mean, I agree. It's like watching like he's like the Brad Marchand of Roma right now, where he does the shit disturbing just to get the calls, but he's a shit disturber. Like it's just because if we're gonna talk about that red card, he obviously exaggerated and emphasized getting the elbow because that was a very delayed reaction. But I mean, it is an elbow nonetheless. In the day and age of VAR, I mean, like why would you risk something like that? But I feel like as if he had to oversell it to get the attention drawn towards it, which is still strategic. But you get a man pulled out from the game, you score the first goal, and it's a very and especially like as we said before, the context of trying to fight for that top 4 spot. It's very crucial, that kind of stuff. And Mancini's always been a player that you can even ask Nick and Adriano, is a player that I feel can be good if he had his head on screwed right sometimes. There's times where it's like I'm not saying it's Zaniolo-esque where Zaniolo would just get a red card every game because the guy didn't know when to shut up. But it was more like he's prone to boneheaded decisions. So if we can get a Mancini like this, where he is going to cross the line a bit, he's going to or push the limits of that line, but if he's able to draw these type of effects or reactions from players to get them cards or whatnot, get under their skins and get results from it, I'm not going to be against it, to be fair. Like I think yes, it is kind of shameful, but it's shameful in the sense of it's embarrassing with the kind of reaction. Like reminds me of Mertens versus Fiorentina a few years back, with the exaggerated. But sometimes it works and it leads to you kind of need that. I don't know. What do you think about that, Bill?
I agree. I mean, just in general, I think the craziest thing to me, just about everything that was said, like about everything we're talking about, is just how Ranieri has just. Everyone talks about these tactical managers, and then Ranieri's just the guy who just inspires men and just brings people together and instilled all this new confidence in all these guys who had lost all their confidence. Mancini, Cristante, which I mean the verdict is still out on Cristante, but I thought he played well on Sunday. Paredes, Sule, all these guys who are great.
Yeah, Roma got the players. That's not.
Yeah, and
that's not the question.
It's almost refreshing to see just a guy who comes in and just kind of is a man manager. You know what I mean? Kind of like an Ancelotti type, where it's not all about I need my guys to fit this system, blah blah blah. It's just you get these guys and you come in and you get results. And I think I don't know. I think it's great for the game just to watch these old school managers do their thing.
And you can see that the players want to play for him too, right? They're behind him. He's got their back. They got his. You can really you see this guy came out of retirement for his Roma, right? So it means much more than just being on the touchline for him, and it shows. The team is definitely playing for him and has been playing for him since he's come in. One of the hotter teams, like we said in 2025. All that to say is though, it's a bit sad because now I don't know about you guys as being Roma fans, what are we going to expect next season? All this aura and this greatness and this ooh and ah about this Ranieri's Roma, and next season's not going to be that. And I think we got a question even on social media by our friend Carlo from Toronto. Who do you guys think, or who do you guys maybe want to see behind, Roma's bench, being their manager next season? Like, are we going to see the same type of Roma that we've been seeing in this 2025 year, or is it going to be a complete 180 and it's, still back in the old Roma trying to fight their way back into, Europe? I guess I'll let, Johnny, Billy, discuss it, but just, is it going to be downhill, or is it going to be, an uphill thing with this Roma going next season?
What do you mean? I thought Jurgen Klopp is a done deal.
Why? Depends who you believe, I guess.
One thing I saw today that was getting reported was that there's the idea of Daniele De Rossi coming back under Ranieri, and he's going to kind of be this, manager figure. But I think Ranieri's going to kind of help manage him, and I think that's a great idea. Like, to me, as close as they can keep Ranieri to the squad is a good thing, because I think that, there's clearly a respect factor there that the players are following, and he obviously gets it, right? Like, I think if they can extract that into someone like De Rossi, who has the passion and can demand that respect from players as well, just with the personality he has, I think it's going to be important. Another thing, though, too, for me is, like, regardless of manager, is whether they can keep Kone. He has been, like, one of the best players in the league. Like, he's an incredible midfielder. I wouldn't be shocked if Madrid came calling right in the summer and picked him up for 60 million. I think he's definitely worth that, but Roma did so well getting him. So, I think we'll see. It seems like Roma's going to at least hopefully get a Europa League spot. We could pray, right?
At the very least.
Yeah. And so I think that's important. Like, I think if they don't, they're probably gonna have to sell one of those guys. But getting at least Europa League would be huge for their financials and kind of keeping this thing going in the right direction. But
I feel like that this second half of the season with Claudio has shown the Friedkins that, it's not just about getting a big name splashy hire, but it really has to be a good fit. Yeah. Good fit for Roma, good for Serie A. So, like, that the 2 hours this morning of, I forget his name, the old Wolves coach from the Prem, was it Nuno? There was talks about him coming because whatever he's doing with Nottingham Forest and stuff like that. I just don't think translates well to Rome. And I know it was probably just one of those, La Stampa rumors. But of
course, Tutto Sport.
Yeah, but I think hopefully those guys are going to be eliminated from, from this search. And I don't know. I think I would it would be the most Roman thing, but my favorite candidate would probably be De Rossi coming back. I don't know. I think that's just, I look at all the other options, and I think for me, I think it's just the safest choice, because you almost got it in buckets, right? You got the kind of Italian up and coming guys who are not coaching in Serie A right now. So that Ferrioli, and De Zerbi. De Zerbi's going to come back at some point. For who, I don't know, but I don't think it's the right time for Roma. Then you have the Allegri types, the Serie A guys. And then, you have the Klopps, obviously it's not that's a pipe dream for Roma, but, guys like that who are totally foreign. And I would probably just stay in Serie A, and I'm hoping the Friedkins realize that, you can't just make a big name hire or a splash just because of a name.
Yeah, we even saw the rumor of, I know this has been a while ago now, but with the Pioli rumors a while back, maybe a couple months ago, maybe now, I don't remember. But is that something you would entertain, or is that a no-go for you, Billy?
I don't know what Gianni thinks, but I probably would welcome Pioli personally, because I think it's almost like you learn about a coach after they leave. And look at what Milan's happened after he left. Not so much as tactics, but the star players and their attitudes, right?
The room,
like Leao or Hernandez, right? Like these guys. I think Pioli, looking back, was pretty strong, people manager. I don't think he's gonna come to Rome. I don't think it's gonna happen. But Yeah, I wouldn't mind Pioli at all.
A lot to like comment on there. This is like my own opinion. I'm gonna slightly disagree with you, Billy, on the De Rossi thing, because I still want him to get a bit of his bearings a bit more. Now, if it does happen where he's got like maybe more experienced or senior manager, like kind of with him or under him, like kind of like, I don't know, I guess being a mentor or advisor, then that's fine. I feel like what happened was like the first experiment that Rossi, we rushed him into a position that I didn't want him to be like, oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? Like not exposed, but like just be put under the hot iron like right away. Like I felt like it was a bit too early for him, because I do believe that he is the manager for Roma in the future, because there's gonna be nobody that's gonna be more passionate for the squad than De Rossi to succeed and stuff. But I still feel like as if the guy needs to still like juggle the ball a bit more with some lower tier, mid tier teams before going up to like one of the Sette Sorelle, But the Jurgen Klopp thing, when I first saw those rumors, I'm like, because the reason why I'm laughing,
it was a done deal.
The reason why I'm laughing is because when we got Mourinho way back when, I was recovering from COVID, and this was like the first wave when everything was hitting everybody seriously, and I had it so bad. I'm like, oh my, I thought it was a fever dream at first that almost signed Mourinho because it came out of nowhere. And when I saw the Jurgen Klopp rumors, I'm like, do I have COVID again? What the fuck's going on?
But the reporter's really standing by that story too, and everyone's denying it. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Even his agent said like, "There's no
it's a no."
Yeah, so I just found it so funny. I'm like, it's like the joke of like, am I having a stroke? Do I smell burnt toast out of stuff? That's basically what it felt like. Now, if there is a coach that I do want them to get, I kind of agree with your point. I would like to see Pioli at Roma. Rumors if Gasperini does leave Atalanta this year, that might be a very interesting thing to get, because if we're talking about managers who kind of like create a system and utilize their players with whatever they have, he's been the best example so far in Serie A, especially if you're thinking about local managers, because look what he's done with Atalanta and his projects for the past 8-9 years now, 10 years, more or less.
Almost.
Like he's basically built the team into a very competitive Serie A squad. Won the Europa League last year. Knows what it takes to get results. Now, obviously, he's chasing that Scudetto, but like whenever he can, if he's going to stay with Atalanta or not, we don't know. Remains to be seen. But he's basically turned Atalanta into a very strong team, and I feel like he just fits that description perfectly. But obviously, it's all theoretical because there's the rumors all up in the air too on that side, if he's going to stick around or if he's going to leave. So him, I would like to see at Roma. But I totally agree with you that the Friedkins need to realize that you can't go for the biggest splash. Like that's been the issue for the longest time. Like it seemed like all of our signings, like Dybala, like not much shitting on Dybala, by the way, but I'm saying like Dybala, the Lukaku signings, like it just seems like they were just going out like Chris Smalling, but way back, like it just felt like as if they're just going after names that were, these are guys that could have been good, but injuries happened, blah, 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 but it's just like, but they still have that bit of star power to them. And it just felt like as if they're just throwing anything at the wall, hopefully, and it will stick, but if you look at the squads that constantly make the top four, there's a cohesiveness with those squads, or there's a continuity with that squad. And I think Roma kind of established that a bit with their back line, and a bit of their mid, it's just, obviously we need to get healthy players, but in order to get, like, I feel like as if like we're guaranteed at least a Conference League spot this year, could potentially push for Champions League, or maybe finish in here. Like we're guaranteed by points. We're guaranteed European competition. Just depends. Just remains to be seen which kind of European competition. So, I would like to see that one. I don't know about you, Billy, but like there's been like this lack of direction. It feels like it just seems like there's like no idea or identity. Like it's the identity is it's Roma, but like there's no like they're known for this or they're known for that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, I don't know. Maybe I'm not explaining myself properly. I have a hard time putting it into words, but you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah. So you mentioned Gasperini. We're almost the opposite of Atalanta. They kind of like have this plan. They've had this plan, and that's what they do. Whereas Roma, it feels like we're changing CEOs every day. Like,
yeah.
I mean?
True.